Epic. What exactly do you think you're doing? Epic Games have just made some changes to Fortnite Festival and quite literally not a single individual person is happy about it. If you enjoyed today's video, then maybe consider subscribing and also use code BigCraigd in the Fortnite item shop. Why? Because I'm telling you to, Buster. So let's set the stage. Fortnite Festival was one of the original 3 metaverse modes that was released alongside LEGO Fortnite and Rocket Racing. And I would argue that Fortnite Festival is the most successful metaverse mode to date. While it doesn't have the player count that LEGO Fortnite gets, or the amount of updates OG gets, or the... I don't know what Rocket Racing gets, to be honest. I believe that it is the most financially successful metaverse mode. While festival instruments weren't exactly popular in the item shop, like personally I only have the Deadpool bass and the Wolverine lead because they were in a bundle, but one thing that was certainly popular were jam tracks. Jam tracks have the most compatibility in the entire game. You can use them in festival, you can use them in LEGO Fortnite, you can use them as lobby music, you can use them as jam loops, you can use them in the new moments feature, you can do a lot with jam tracks. It really makes it worth the 500 V-Bucks or around like what, $5 that you pay for them. And what helped is that jam tracks were available pretty frequently. There were always around 200 jam tracks available at one time, and even that didn't encompass the growing library of jam tracks that were added to the game. The fact that jam tracks were in the shop incredibly frequently meant that there was a pretty good chance that the song you wanted to play was in the shop, which meant you could buy it, you'd be happy, and Epic would be happy because they have your money. The only issue I had with this system is that jam tracks in the shop were sorted by date of rotation and not name, which made finding them incredibly tedious. So if they added a search feature, that would be great. So, Fortnite Festival is making Epic the most money. The jam tracks can be used practically anywhere, and Epic has a decent item shop system. Mate, I can't speak today. Item shop system for them. Well, why is the title of this video so negative? This sounds pretty great. This week, Epic removed 90% of jam track offerings from the item shop, limiting choices to 2020, while the other jam tracks in the game were delegated to being locked in the vault until the day that they had chosen to come back and brought into the item shop. Surely this was a mistake, right? Said Craig a few days ago. I mean, there's no way they'd get rid of 180 jam tracks from the item shop and only keep 20, right? That makes no sense. It has to be a mistake. Well, it bloody wasn't. As of the time of recording this, yesterday, the official Fortnite Festival Twitter account made a response to the recent changes to the game. Let's read it, and you can tell me what's wrong with this. Variety is the spice of life, and in our set lists. Okay, right, shut up. We're taking a new, more curated approach to both our main stage featured rotation and jam tracks in the shop. We've recently expanded the featured rotation, and there are now 40 regularly updated jam tracks available to play every day on the main stage. Explore new genres, artists, as we spotlight new jam tracks each week. You just might find your favorite new song. Okay, that's great. I believe there were only 20 songs to choose from in the free weekly rotation, so this is a good change. Not only does it mean that free-to-play players get a lot more songs to choose from, but it also means that the battle stage gets more options. This is a great change. Let's hope they keep this up. They're not going to keep this up. As we work to improve the overall user experience with jam tracks in the shop, we've reduced the amount of available tracks in favor of a more curated approach. The shop will now display a hand-picked list of jams, bangers, and bops, with new jam tracks dropping every week. Yeah, hi, what the fuck do you mean by this? And while we've historically released new jam tracks every Thursday, we're experimenting with a more flexible release schedule these days. That caused some confusion this week, that's our bad. We'll be more clearer moving forward on which jam tracks are releasing and when. We'll keep making tweaks and adjustments with jam tracks as the music library in Fortnite continues to grow. We're also exploring new ways for you to use jam tracks you already own. We appreciate all the feedback so far. Keep it coming. Yeah, hi, I have some feedback for you. Revert, 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 revert. Who in their right mind thought that this was a good idea? Did they sit down in a board meeting and go,
right lads, I know we've been trying to come up with new ways to make money in Festival, and I think I got it.
Oh really? Well, that sounds quite interesting. Let's hear it.
So I think we should take the selection of 200 jam tracks that are in the shop right now and lower it to 20 for actually no reason.
Well, it can't be for no reason. We need a reason.
I don't know, for a more, curated approach?
I'm loving it.
Why did they phrase it like it would be better this way? Oh guys, do you know the wide variety of selection that you guys have right now? Or how about we limit it to a more curated selection, whatever the hell that means? Who was the guy? Find me a guy that was complaining about there being too many jam tracks in the item shop at one time. Who was it? Own up. I mean, why would they do this? I mean, there doesn't seem to be any reason to do this. Oh yeah. Come on, Fortnite, we were just getting good with FOMO as well. You made battle passes in the item shop after a year and a half. You made earnable cosmetics in the shop after a while. Why are you doing this, man? This will not make more people buy jam tracks, dude. My brother was just about to buy Nightmare by Avenged Seven... Shut up. I was just about to buy a Miku song, and we can't now because you've taken them from the item shop long before you were supposed to, and now we don't know when or if they will be back because there's something like 500 jam tracks in the game right now and more being added every week, and you guys only allow for a selection of 20 per day or week or whatever. Do you see what I mean? This is ridiculous. Also, my bad. I think they updated it to 40 in the shop at one time instead of 20, which is not that much better. Fortnite. All you had to do was revamp how you sold jam tracks. That's all you had to do. Add a search button, add a sort button, anything. You didn't need to do all this. You cannot just FOMO jam tracks. It's not like a skin or an emote. Jam tracks are gameplay features. Fortnite Festival was supposed to attract rhythm game players to Fortnite. That's what Festival was supposed to do. They were looking for a new market. How do you think they'll react when they hear, oh yeah, we have songs like Master of Puppets and loads of other songs that you're gonna love, but you're gonna have to wait until a random day for them to return, maybe, I don't know. Why on God's green earth would I even bother to wait for songs to release in Festival Shop when I could just download the songs in Clone Hero for free and play them whenever I want? Festival is probably my favorite mode in the game. I like to play it when I just want to do something for a few minutes, and I liked how I could come back later and buy jam tracks that I liked. And now I can't do that. The fact that jam tracks were in a rotation to begin with was a little absurd anyway, but the fact that there were so many allowed for us to kind of forget about the small FOMO aspect of the Festival item shop. And now it's all we can think about. They added new songs to the game literally yesterday, and they aren't even in the shop. Do you see how broken this system is? Limiting jam tracks to 20 or 40 every day or week or whatever their new shitey system is will only increase revenue from frequent festival players who want the songs. That's all. It's not going to make festival casuals buy them, and it's not going to make outsiders want to buy them. It is a short-term revenue source that will not increase festivals' earning potential in the long term, and it will most certainly not attract new players. I have to play the song a few times before I consider buying it. I need to know it plays well and how it works with me, and sometimes I'm not available on one particular day where a song I want is in the game. Again, they are limiting gameplay. It's like if Battle Royale put every single gun in the item shop, got rid of 80% of them, and said, go on, get them. But you know how we like to do it on the BigCraigd channel. We like to complain, but we also like to come up with suggestions. So Fortnite, because you're watching this video, you are definitely watching this video, I have some suggestions for you on how you can, revert this decision and make it good. I would add every single jam track to its own unique shop. Festival is not like cars and Lego kits. They need their own segment because there's so many jam tracks. I would give them its own little tab and I would have every single jam track there. I would sort the song by artist in alphabetical order and have a search bar on the side so you can search for an artist or a song. Every week I would allow around 30 jam tracks to be in the main stage for free, and that system would work exactly as it did before. Differently, I would implement a demo feature which allowed players to play a small segment of any song in the game to get a decent idea of how the song plays in their particular instrument. So instead of waiting for songs to be demoed in the free weekly jam tracks, which could take a long time, the players could choose a song to get a small demo for and then buy them if they like the look of it. Or if Fortnite isn't a big fan of that, they show a video of someone playing the song so at the very least they can see what's going on. To me, that is the most logical and user-friendly way of doing it, while also incentivizing users to buy them, which of course gives Epic money. But then again, I could have just said the word poop and that would have been a better idea for a new jam track rotation method as opposed to whatever the hell they're doing now. I've been on Twitter for a while since this news dropped and I have not seen a single person happy with this change. They made this change in an attempt to increase profits and they absolutely did not consider player satisfaction and what was best for the player, because the only benefit the players get is the 20 extra free rotational jam tracks. That's all. And I think they only did that to try and lessen the blow that the actual terrible change did. Fortnite Festival is the only actually successful, popular, and generally well-received metaverse mode out there right now. Ballistic only works 50% of the time and gets no updates. Brick Life is underwhelming to the majority of players. OG only really works in build mode and the majority of the player base prefer modern Fortnite anyway. Rocket Racing, while fun for me, is generally considered to be boring by most of the player base. Lego Fortnite gets a high player count in comparison to the rest of the modes, but however they likely struggled to make a profit because nobody wants to buy kits. Festival, Reload, and Normal BR are the only successful metaverse modes in my opinion, and maybe I would include OG if I had to. Closing thoughts? Epic, you goofed up. Please revert it. Or hell, take my idea. I won't even make you pay for it. You only need to add the time where I sung Happy Birthday on stream as a jam track. That's all you gotta do. Hit me up. Well, that's it from me. If you enjoyed today's video, then there will be a funny card on the screen taking you to a video like this one, but better. And hell, if you double enjoyed it, then maybe subscribe, or maybe, just maybe, use code BigCraigd in the item shop. But God knows you're not going to be buying any jam tracks with it. Okay, bye.